Hello everyone, welcome back to the next video. In this video I will show you how to do MediaPipe hand landmark detection in Flutter Android. So let's get started. So first let me show you guys the output. So I'll just open my Flutter application. Here you can see the Flutter application open. So first I'll just give the camera permission to this. Then it will open my front camera. So as you can see, now I'll just bring my hand in front of it. Here you can see it is able to do hand landmark detection on my hand. And if I move my hand, depending on that, it is able to do the hand landmark detection as well. So yeah, hopefully you got the point. So let's see how to achieve this. So first what you need to do is you need to come to this particular documentation over here. You need to scroll down and here you will see this hand. I don't know why this is opened. Okay, so here you will see this hand landmarker full model. Just click on it. You need to download this model. So everything will be done on device. You don't require an internet connection for this. So but you just need to download this model. Once you have downloaded, as usual I have created a Flutter application. First you need to go to main.dart and here you can see I have added all these imports. So the thing which you need to know is here I have created a file called my camera view, and this is my project name called Flutter. So you will have to replace with your own project name. Rest everything is code is present by default, so I have not changed any of this. Then here inside my homepage widget, so it is a stateful widget. Here I am just checking what platform it is, because we are only doing it for Android. Then here I have created one method channel as well. So this method channel is basically helping for camera permission as well, because even for camera permission I have written native code. If you want, you can write like if you want, you can use a third-party library for getting the camera permission, but I have written native code as well for that. So here inside initiative platform is Android, then we just call get camera permission. So here we just invoke a method called get camera permission, and whatever result we get, we just change this value over here. Okay, then inside the build method, if camera permission is granted, then we just display this my camera view, else we display a text saying give camera permission. So here we have this my camera view.dart file. So it is a stateful widget. Then here we have created this creation params as well, and if platform is Android, then we create our Android view. Here we define the view type, layout, direction, creation params and creation param codec as well, and for all other platform we just define a placeholder. Then you need to go to the Android folder, go to app, go to build.gradle, and here you need to add this dependency block. So here you need to add MediaPipe task vision, camera core, camera 2, camera lifecycle, camera view, as well as constraint layout. Then you need to go to src main, create an assets folder inside main, and here you need to drag and drop the model which you have downloaded from the MediaPipe documentation. So just drag and drop or copy paste it over here. Then you need to go to Android manifest.xml, and here you need to add uses feature of Android hardware camera as well as camera permission. Then go to Kotlin com. So here firstly you need to create this hand landmarker helper.kt file. Now what will be the package name? So just go to your main activity, whatever first line of code you see, just add it over here as well. Now hand landmarker helper.kt, so just create this file. Now this I have copied it from the GitHub source code of MediaPipe hand landmarker. So I'll simply scroll through this, even I am not an expert in this. So it's basically here we are initializing the hand landmarker, and we are adding some listeners as well, and here we are doing it for live stream. So that's all you need to know. So again I'll simply scroll through this. This method I'm not really using. This is for detecting it from video file. So if you are interested, you can use that as well. So again I'll simply scroll through this. Here this is for detecting from image. I have already made a separate video on that, and here we are returning the live stream result as well. So here if we are returning any error, here we have defined some variables. In case if you decide to name your model this hand landmarker dot task something else, make sure you change it over here as well. Then here we have defined few variables, and here is our data class result bundle, and here is our interface as well. Then you need to create another file called overlay view.kt. Again I have copied this from the MediaPipe documentation. So this basically helps us to draw the overlay on our live camera preview. So again I'll simply scroll through this. Feel free to pause the video and just copy all this code. Okay, once that is done, here is our then you need to go to main activity, just add all these imports, and here we are requesting, as you can see, for camera permission first. Then here is our method channel result, and if request code is equal to request code permission, all permissions granted, then we return back true, else we return back false. And if all permissions are granted, then this is just a helper method to check whether permissions was granted or not. Then here we call configure Flutter engine. So here we just call register view factory, passing in our camera view, and here is our my camera view factory. Here is our method channel for camera permission. If call dot method is equal to camera permission, then we request the permission. Okay, now coming back to this, here you can see we are referencing another Kotlin file called my camera view factory. So here we have this my camera view factory file. Again, I have this is default boilerplate code which you have to write every time you want to embed a native Android view inside your Flutter application. So don't think too much about it, just copy all this code which is there. And here we are referencing another file called my camera view. So here you need to create my camera view.kt. so here will be the most of the code. So firstly, again, write all these imports. Then here we are extending hand LandMarker listener as well as lifecycle event observer. Then here we initialize constraint layout, our preview view as well as our overlay view. Then here is our background executor. Then here we get hold of our camera, front facing camera. Then another is image analyzer, preview, camera and camera provider. Then here we set the delegate, minimum hand detection confidence, minimum hand tracking confidence, and minimum hand presence confidence, and maximum hands as well. And here we create variable for hand LandMarker as well. Then we set the layout params for our constraint layout. We initialize our constraint set. Here we set like all the constraints for our viewfinder. So here we are constraining it to all sides of the screen so that it occupies maximum width and height. Similarly, we do it for our overlay view as well. So that's what I have done over here. Then we apply the constraint set. Then here we initialize our hand LandMarker helper, and then we call setup camera. Then inside setup camera, we get hold of our camera provider feature. We add a listener. Then we get hold of our camera provider. We just call bind camera use case. Then here we override get view, where we retain our constraint layout. Then inside bind camera use case, we get hold of our aspect ratio strategy. Here is our resolution selector. Then we get our camera provider. Then we initialize our camera selector. Then we initialize the preview view. Then we initialize our image analyzer as well. And here you can see that here we call detect hand. Okay, so here we unbind our camera provider, we bind it to the life cycle over here, and we set the surface provider as well. Then inside detect hand, we just do hand LandMarker helper.detect live stream, passing in the image proxy as well as front facing camera. Then inside on error, we just display a toast message. Then inside on results, we just do overlay view.set results, passing in all the values which helps us to draw the overlay. Then here we override on state changed as well. So in case of on resume, if hand LandMarker is closed, then we call setup hand LandMarker. And in case of on pause, then we just do hand LandMarker helper.clear hand LandMarker. And in case of on destroy, we just shut down our background executor as well as await termination. So yeah, that's all there is to it. If you have any questions, do let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching.